Part 1, love will get you killed.
Story time about how my sister was unalived by her boyfriend when she was 26 years old, and how he was acquitted of all charges. So the title of my story time will be "Love Will Get You Killed." If you ever heard me tell my sister's story, because I try to keep her name alive every chance I get, I always say that love will literally get you killed. So boom, I never forget, May 2nd 2019, I had just got off work. I was still in full-blown active duty wear, whatever, my duty belt, my weapon, and everything. So my mom called me. I was at Walmart. My phone was on 1%, and I kept rejecting her call because I knew I couldn't answer. If I answered, it would have hung up. And so I needed my phone in case I needed to make a phone call while I was in Walmart. So she messaged me and said, emergency, call me. So I answered, because she called again in the process of that. And she was like, where you at? And I said, Walmart. My phone is on 1%, talk fast. And she was like, don't panic. Nissa got shot. She's okay. I talked to her. Just go to the hospital. I went in full panic mode. Full-blown panic mode. My sister got shot. What you mean? Like, she ain't got no beef with nobody out here. You know what I'm saying? All she do is work, go home. What you mean? So, I hopped in my car. I did 100 trying to get to the hospital. It's like a, give or take, 3-minute drive from Walmart to the hospital where I was at. If 3 minutes. Literally, probably took me a minute to get there. So anyways, I get to the hospital. That same night, my sister was...
Hello everyone, my name is Shaneria. This is Talking Crime. On this channel, if you like drama, if you like tea, heck, if you just like to hear someone else's story, this is the channel for you. So come over here, hit that subscribe button, hype me up, join the family, comment down below your opinion of the video. And if you're returning, you already know how we like to do it. Let's get started on today's reaction video.
Another girl was shot that was actually killed. So they had a hospital on cold, whatever it is, orange or something, like it was on lockdown. But when I got to the hospital, my uncle, who was the chief of police at the time, met me at the roundabout and was like, what are you doing? I'm like, mama said Nissa got shot. I had to get to the hospital. He said, get to JC Park. They're airlifting her out of JC Park. They're airlifting her out of the park. So while I'm at the hospital, my cousin pulled up, or my sister, I can't remember, but one of them pulled up. And my little cousin ended up getting in my car. I didn't know she was in my car. It didn't dawn on me until I got where I was going that she was in my back seat. I did 100, literally 100, going down Main Street, going across town, to get to the park because they were getting ready to airlift my sister. And I had no idea who shot her, what happened, no, nothing, right? So boom, I get to the park, and my friend, Lord rest her soul, Monique Alford, and Tootie, they both were there. They met me there at the park. I left my car in the middle of the road and I just went running. Now mind you, I'm in full panic mode because my sister got shot. My everything, she got shot. So I work in law enforcement, so I'm in full active gear. And so they had a barricade up, like with first responders, and it was the fire department. They were just like, we're not letting you through. And I'm like, my sister's in the middle of that field, I don't know what's going on, she just got shot, let me through. So people were coming up to me, first responders that knew me because they knew I worked in law enforcement in this community, and were like,
Part to love will get you killed.
So the first responders weren't letting me through, and they all trying to tell me like, calm down, remain professional, and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, like when you work in, you know, jobs where the highlight is on you, because you know you have to remain your professionalism, at the end of the day, like, you're human too. You know what I'm saying? And like, we all bleed the same. But when it hurt, that hurt different. Even when you got an image to protect, I didn't care about nothing. I was willing to lay it down because my job, I felt, was to protect my family, because nothing tragic has happened ever in my family besides my father going to prison. So anywho, so I get to the middle of the field, and I see she's conscious, and she's telling me, she's like, I'm okay, just come. And I said, I'm pleading, like, who did this to you? Because I don't know. She said, just come. She didn't want me to ask no questions. So mind you, the park is walking distance from her house. So my friend had moved my car. They met me back as I'm walking up. I'm distraught. I'm emotional. I'm out of it. Like, I'm clocked out. My uncle, who, like I said, was the chief of police at the time, he met me and he's like, calm down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stay professional. Don't lose it out here. Please calm down. Because he knew I was going to the scene. So my friend gave my keys. I got in my car. I went to the scene, which was not even a minute drive from, it was walking distance. I pulled up at her house. All these detectives and stuff are out there. Now, mind you, because I work in the same field as them, they're all out there, and they're standing on the porch or whatever. Now, this is the kicker. Her boyfriend at the time worked for a local police department. So it's like a conflict of interest because my uncle's the chief of police, and I call him uncle, but he technically is my cousin. But he raised me as his niece. I work in law enforcement, so it's a lot going on. And at this point, they call SBI and say investigate because it's a conflict of interest, right? So when I get to the scene, officers that I work with, like day to day, from making arrests or whatever the case was, they all are like standoffish. Nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody is like being really apologetic. Nobody was embracing nothing. The first person I see is him, and I went running up to him, and they were telling me, the officers was like, you can't be up here. And I'm like, who shot my sister? And he told me, he looked me dead in my face and said, it was the center of her cupcake. I feel so bad. I hope she can have kids. He's pleading that. And I was disgusted because I'm like, you shot my sister? Like, you shot my sister. So, anywho, fast forward. My mom, she comes, and my mom's like, we gotta get to the hospital. I said, I got a bag in the car. Are you ready? She said, yeah, let's go. So, we got in the car, and we went to, they were airlifting her to another hospital, so we got in the car and went to the hospital. Well, in the process of us leaving the scene to go to the hospital, I'm calling like friends and stuff because where they were airlifting her to, I went to college there, so I'm trying to call all my friends that I know still live there so somebody can get to the hospital before we got there because I didn't know what was going to happen. So when we get there, it was probably at this time like 2 o'clock in the morning. By the time we got there, a little bit.
Part 3, love will get you
So
killed.
anyways, I get to the hospital, and my friends, they went ahead and got there, but they weren't telling them anything. So like, I'm communicating with the hospital on the way there. It was a 2-hour drive for me and my mom. So we get there, and we sit in the waiting room. We waiting. She went through hours of surgery, and so they finally came and got us and was like, y'all can see her. So boom, we go see my sister. My sister opened her eyes, and the first thing she said was, I know he gonna marry me now. And I just want to apologize in advance to my other sisters if this offends you by telling her truth, but I want to tell the story, and I want to tell the whole story, and I don't want to leave nothing out. So my sister loved this man so much that even on her deathbed, or even when she almost seen death because he shot her, she still wanted to protect him. She still loved him. She still wanted to marry him. So boom, they got her stable, out of recovery, got her into a room. We get in her room. Maybe 3 hours later, about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, he shows up. And he shows up with his mom. He never leaves that room. As long as we were there, he stayed there because he was trying to make sure that their stories matched. So I'm asking him questions because my sister is protecting him. And, she's saying, like, it was an accident. This is what she's saying. So me knowing their relationship prior to this, I'm still not believing the story because I'm like, I know better. You know what I'm saying? I know the things he's been doing. I know everything that's been going on between y'all. Like, my mom them don't know, but I know because it's my best friend. Like, So, I'm asking him, like, y'all got y'all story together because, clearly I'm not buying it. Like, I'm just like, this is weird. Like, I'm not buying it. So, anywho, and I'm not going to say no names to protect his identity. As bad as I want to, I'm not going to say no names, but I want to tell my sister's story. So, fast forward. My sister... she gets released from the hospital. They tell us she didn't have insurance. First of all, the hospital released her because they wanted to do another surgery. She was shot in the center of her vagina, and it shattered her, I think it was like L3 or something in her spine, which left her paralyzed on one side. So they told us we're going to send her home with a back brace, gabapentin, and we're going to set up therapy for her at home, but we're not going to do the second surgery. We knew it was an insurance thing. A few days later, they sent my sister home. She was not prepared to come home. So, okay, we fast forward. My sister comes home. I never asked her what happened. But when she came home, she didn't come home to us. She went home to, not her house because she's traumatized. She went to his mom's house. So she went to his mom's house. She called me on a Friday and she was crying. And I called my mom and I told her, I'm going to take off work and I'm going to spend the day with you because I knew it wasn't like her. And I said, I'm going to make you feel pretty, sis. I'm going to make you feel so pretty. Like, I knew that because I did her hair. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm going to make you feel pretty today because I felt bad. Like, my sister's crying and she's upset. She just got shot. She's paralyzed on one side. She's not feeling like herself. And she didn't get to go back home. She's staying in somebody else's house. And for whatever reason, she wouldn't come stay with us. So,
Part 4, love will get you killed.
So, I'm telling her, like, I'm gonna make you feel pretty today. I'm gonna take off work. I call my supervisor. I tell him, like, look, I need to take off work. My sister is sad, whatever. He was like, where you at? I told him. He said, and to this day, best supervisor I ever had. He was like, where you at? I was like, I'm at home. He was like, stay right there. I'm coming. And I'm thinking, like, am I in trouble, Y'all know, like, my boss pulled up. I got to give him his flowers, like, to the T. He pulled up. He came to my house. He said, let me tell you something. You don't get to choose your family. He said, be there for them. You only get one. And he was like, don't worry about this job. Him and our office assistant, both of them came. And he was like, take care of your family. I boohoo cried. And he was like, and I'm serious. So I took off work. That was on Friday. And I didn't have no time, y'all. Mind you, I don't think I had no vacation time at the time. So anyways, I take off because I'm fairly new in this job. I only been on my job like a year and some change. So anywho, I take off work. I go get my sister. She's dragging her leg, but she can actually like move around with her walker. I take her to the hair store. We pick out some hair. I take her to my mom's house. My older sister, she came and washed her hair. I sewed some hair on her head. My other sister, she came and she took her to Walmart and got her like some body supplies and stuff. And then we took her home. Well, my sister took her home. So we all got to like do something with her that day and spend time with her. But like she felt so much better, So boom, fast forward next week. We on May 16th at this point. May 16th come, I get a call. It's 10:45 at night. He calls me, her boyfriend, who she's staying with. He calls me and he was like, he gave me this bullshit story that, oh, your sister, I was playing the game. Your sister got up to get something to drink and she had a seizure. She fell back. She was talking to me the whole time. So I called EMS. It was bullshit. He made up a whole story about her keep having seizures and stuff, right? So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, I live like 7 minutes from the hospital. He lives like 5, if that. Like, he stays closer than I do. He said, I called EMS. They're on their way to get her, meet me at the hospital. Cool. I have a bag in my car still because when she was airlifted, I had that same bag because I never even took a shower, ate, slept, or nothing. When I went to the hospital, I didn't need a bag. So I'm like, I got that same bag in my car and I'm going to use that same bag. I jumped straight up out my bed, got in my car and went straight to the hospital. I called my mom on the way. I said, hey, Nissa just had a seizure. She's okay. If they airlift her, I'm going with her. I'm gonna make sure she get the help she needs. Because at the time, my mom is newly diagnosed with renal failure. So like she's getting ready to start dialysis soon. Well, they thinking that was the plan. At the time, she wasn't on yet, I don't think. But even still, mom wasn't feeling too good. So I'm like, you don't gotta come. I ain't gonna stress on you. I'm gonna be okay. So I get to the hospital. I'm on the phone with my friend Tootie, and I'm like telling her what's going on or whatever. I get there, I don't see him, but I see EMS pull up with my sister. So I'm like, I tell the front desk like, hey, that's my sister that they brought in. Let me to the back, right? No. So I'm pissed. I'm highly pissed because I'm like, damn, like, let me go to the back with my sister. So anywho, they didn't let me go to the back. She was like, is your family here with you? And I'm like, no. So I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, you might need to come. All right, y'all. So this is part 5. Like I said, I recorded that a year ago and I just decided to post it yesterday because like I said, Saturday made 7 years she been gone. I'm ready to tell her story. My whole point of telling my sister's story is because I really want to keep her name alive. And this is my process of trying to heal because I've been holding on this for too long. So boom, my mom gets there. They tell her that she needed to get our family there because they were working on her and the only thing that was keeping her heart pumping was medicine. So my mom immediately like let out this long hoarse cry, and I've never heard my mom cry to this day. She was just calling my sister's name like Nissa, like real like hoarse, long. It was just so like I had chills. I remember dropping in front of the doors and like, what is like happening right now? So fast forward, I guess it was a mother's intuition because my mom called everybody. She called all of our friends, she called family members, and she was telling them like, I'm gonna need help with the girls because she knew that my sister wasn't gonna make it. Unbeknownst to me, because I still had faith, that she was gonna make it. I still didn't even with them saying it, I was like, she gonna be all right, So everybody began to show up. At this point, it's probably about 11:30, almost 12 o'clock. Everybody's coming, all my friends and stuff. I didn't know my mom called them because I was frustrated because my mom is a very private person. So seeing all these people come, I'm like, how would they know? Because nothing on social media. How do anybody know my sister's at this hospital? But
the sad part is you have a loved one that's going through abuse, domestic violence, and all you could do is stand back, especially if they're not telling you nothing. And then this happened where she gets shot and then defend him, which unfortunately cost her everything, meaning her life and everything.
My mom was sitting there calling and texting people, asking them to come. So I go outside. I felt like the walls was closing in on me. So I go outside while everybody's sitting in the waiting room. And I call her boss. And I'm on the phone with her. And she's praying with me. And she's just telling me, like, you got to go in peace. You got to go in peace, And everybody's calling me, telling me to come back in. But I never went back in when they was calling me because, like I said, she was praying with me. And I knew I needed that in that moment. So when I finally walked back into the hospital, they weren't sitting where they were sitting when I first left out the hospital. They were in a room. And I heard crying coming from the room, so I took off running to the room to see what was going on because I thought maybe it was my mom crying or something. When I got to the room, my mom told them, she was like, grab her. And I remember everybody grabbing me, and I don't remember anything after that, after they grabbed me. So, Yeah, it's about to cut off, so you gotta come back from this part. Part 6. So they grabbed me. I can't even explain what I felt in that moment when they said that she was gone. I literally fell to the floor and I was crying, like boo crying, like I was devastated. So mind y'all, I told y'all, he called me at 10:45. I called my mom. She came. She lived across town, which would take her longer. But my mom, when she got there, she called all of my friends and all these people showing up, and it was because she wanted the support to be there for me and my 2 other sisters that were coming. I don't even think nobody called my younger sister yet, but she stayed further than everyone else. Anyways, all these people show up, and we're all there. Everybody's in the room, just like it's like dead silence. Like you could hear a pin drop. Like all you hear is crying, and I'm lost. Well, he finally shows up. Mind you, he called me at 10:45. He shows up to the hospital. Now, you would think that he was the one that put her in the state, that he would be on the ambulance with her when she's coming to the hospital, right? Considering he shot her. No. I think it was around 2 o'clock, close to 2 o'clock when they pronounced her dead. I can't even remember the exact time, but it had been hours before he decides to show up, and he showed up with his mom. Then, when he shows up, my sister already pronounced dead. Everybody didn't have that moment. We're still just sitting there waiting on the coroner to come. So, because they ordered an autopsy on my sister. So, we're waiting. He shows up. I hear somebody hitting the door. So security grabs him because now he's there and he's showing off because he realized that my sister, who he shot and sent to the hospital by herself, is dead. And then you come up here and you showing off, hitting doors and stuff. It was immediate guilt, because why would you send her to the hospital by herself? Why wouldn't you get on the ambulance with her knowing that she quote unquote had a seizure? It never made sense. And we knew it was a lie after the fact, because when we got her phone, she was asking him where he was. He could have possibly saved my sister's life. Granted, I do believe when it's your time, it's your time. But however, my sister was there and she was struggling. I felt like she didn't reach out to us because she knew we were going to be asking, why did he leave you by yourself? Considering you can only move around. You only got one leg to move around with. One good leg at that. You're walking around with a walker. Why would you leave her unattended by herself? Like, what if she needed something? Where were you at? Let's really talk about it. So, yeah, my grief immediately turned into anger because my sister was alone. So the story that you told about, oh, she had a seizure and all that, it was a lie. But the video about to cut off. Y'all got to come back to the next part. Yeah, I'm trying to do a 10-minute feature for y'all. This is like my third time having to redo this because I keep crying and deleting it, crying and deleting it. So I stopped where I was talking about him coming to the hospital to show off, right? So now we move forward. He's currently suspended from his job duties at the time pending the investigation. So my mom allowed him, she embraced him because, like I said, my sister protected him. She said that it was an accident. Well, my mom allowed him to put a ring on her finger. All of a sudden, now that she's gone and never get to witness it, now she's your fiance. He also bought the plot right next to where my sister will be buried. I wasn't happy about any of this. When SBI came to interview everybody, they interviewed everybody but me. And it was because I was angry. My mama knew I was angry. I had nothing positive to say. I was not on no positive type time. And I was mad at the world. And I'm still mad, but I was mad. So, fast forward, my mom health started slowly declining. We're going through the investigation portion of all this. My sister gave 3 different statements. When she called 911, when she was shot, she was asking him, why did you shoot me? When she got airlifted, the domestic violence people interviewed her, and she told them they were playing around with the gun and she shot herself. No, she said they were playing around with the gun and it went off. When EMS got there, she told them she was playing around with the gun and she shot herself. So she gave 3 different statements, but all 3 protected him. None of those statements said that he shot me. Well, when the EMS workers arrived to my sister's house, one of the things that the lady did was document the fact that there were gun residue on my sister's leg, meaning she was shot close range. Meaning she was standing in front of this man, and he had that gun up to her, and he pulled the trigger. I've been in law enforcement. I carry a weapon every day. That gun only go off if I pull the trigger. This man has prior military experience. He's been with the police department for a little minute. He's well trained on a weapon. Let's stop there. So you have more than enough experience on a weapon to know that the only way that gun is going off if your finger is on the trigger. So, like I said, my mom helped decline, and him and his mom is still coming around. My mom is allowing them to come around and bring her stuff and still talk to her when she feels like talking to them or whatever, because, of course, she believed what my sister said. So, fast forward, October of 2020, my mom, she went into a medical-induced coma. I remember when she woke up, she asked me, she said, hey, did the DA ever call back? And she did, but I wanted my mom to be able to talk to her herself. So I called her, put on speaker so she can talk to my mom. And her exact words to me was, I'm sorry, I can't charge him for killing your effing sister. She began to explain to us that the reason why she could not charge him was because the 3 different statements my sister gave without witness testimony, if they go to trial, he wins automatically because there's no witness here to tell the side of the story. And the witness that was alive before she passed away, she protected him in her story, in her statements. So
I mean, it's crazy how you are willing to go to bat or war for somebody and they not willing to do the same thing. She definitely took up for him on her deathbed. Like, now she's gone, her family don't know what to do or who could help them, because nobody really can help them, because she went to her grave defending the fact that it was an accident. I don't care what nobody say. If you are trained and professionally in the law enforcement or whatever, like, you know how to handle your gun, carry your gun, you are properly trained. That was no accident. And to show up hours later at that person went to the hospital is crazy work.
I think reality kind of started settling in for my mom, because then he was given the option to resign or be fired. But he was also giglio, meaning he could never take a stand or a stand in general and testify in court. And he couldn't be a police officer anymore because he lied. His story was he was playing the video game. He went to holster his personal weapon. This wasn't his duty weapon. He went to holster his personal weapon down. He had a controller. He went to holster the weapon down. And when he did, the gun went off. Anybody in their right mind would know if that's the case, then my sister would have been shot anywhere besides in the center of her female part. So whenever they did their investigation, they realized that story is not credible. You lied to us. That was the option that he had, but he wouldn't be charged because of that. So I think reality started settling in, and my mom started viewing it from how I viewed it, which was full of hurt. Like, you weren't honest about it, and my daughter was protecting you. So now that he done ran the circus around my family, the hurt started settling in, because the moment he was relieved of his duties, that man never called my mom again, never checked on her, him or his mama, none of them. Nobody reached out to check on my mom, and my mom was sick. My mama was sick of a broken heart. Her health was declining because her heart was broken. The Monday before my mama went into the hospital, the man asked her, he said, "Do you got pain anywhere?" And she said, "Unless you could do something for a broken heart, no." So like I said, that was October. Christmas, mama told us, "This is my last Christmas with y'all." But like I said, I just felt like it was going to turn around, that her spirits will end up getting, because she still got 3 other girls to fight for. You know, we still here, and I'm trying to do everything I can, me and my sister, just to try to cheer her up. So January 26, 2021. Mind you, my sister died May 2019. I called him. That was my first time and only time talking to him since my sister had been gone. And when I called him, I asked him, I said, "Can you release the plot that he purchased that he would be put in if something happened to him next to my sister?" I said, "Can you release it?" And he said, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Because my mama died and she going there." So he let out this long sigh. He let out a long sigh, and then he didn't go back and forth or anything. He said, yeah, I will. I never talked to him again. His mom ended up reaching out to my sister. But do y'all know, these people never showed up to pay their respect or anything concerning my mama, as much grace as she gave them. So fast forward, we buried my mama of a broken heart January 2021. And it was like downhill from there, because then my mama's sister, she died of a broken heart not even a full year later. A year after she died, my grandma died Christmas Eve of a broken heart. The next year after that, so within 5 years, I lost the most important people to me. But after my mom passed away, I'll never forget, my friend went to the she had to call EMS because she was having a crisis, sickle cell crisis. And the lady that came, she said, "Can I hug you?" And I'm not gonna say her name, but she was an EMS worker. She said, "Can I hug you?" And if you see this, girl, I love you to death, I do. But she said, "Can I hug you?" And I gave her a hug. And she said to me, "I came both times." Y'all, and I hugged her a little tighter. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, but grief is weird, and it just made me know, like, you were one of the last people to see my sister when she had, breath in her body. The night my sister was shot, she was the first one to the scene, and she was the one that documented my sister had gun residue on her leg, meaning she was shot close range. And if it was not for her, we wouldn't have got the little justice that we did get. The next thing was the night that my sister passed away. She told me I was the one to get to the call. I was the one to come. My sister was DOA. When she came to the hospital, they were trying to revive her. And the fact that he just lied for no reason is sickening to me. And mind you, he was already under investigation because he had a pending domestic violence charge with the mother of his child in another county. But all in all, I wanted it to be known because my mom said, you know what, before she passed, she said, reach out to Tanya Brown. As quick as she was to put all the wrong information out there, see if she'll cover the story. And she told me there was nothing to cover. There was nothing to cover because it would only make him look good. Like he was acquitted of all charges, but it would make him look good. And I understand the sense what she was saying, but it was just the principle of my family suffered. We are suffering. Life has been rough. I lost my whole family within a matter of 5 years, almost. It's me and my sisters out here trying to figure life out. I became a whole different person. A whole different person. Heartbroken. Dying from grief is real. My mama and my two sisters, her two sisters, and one of them I called grandma, like, literally died of broken hearts because of what this man did to my sister. And when I tell y'all, like, and I pray to God that this video reaches him because I don't hate you. I don't. I forgive you. And it took a long time to get here. I don't want to go through another year of being mean or just hating people or not knowing how to cope with nothing in life because of holding on to this. But you changed my family. You changed our life, me and my sisters. And trying to navigate through this has been the absolute worst thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. And I'm human, y'all. But I really wanted it to be known because a lot of people was like, oh, it was accident. There was no accident about that man pulling that trigger and killing my sister. And you took more than my sister from us. And I pray God have mercy on your soul. And I hope to God when you close your eyes every night, you have to see her face like we do. But if this video reaches you, just know I forgive you. And I pray God have mercy on you. Alright, y'all, now that y'all done seen the most vulnerable part of me on Beyonce's internet, I didn't want to drag the story time out. I just wanted to get that out there as far as my sister's story because so many people didn't know. And like I said, this isn't about anything besides me healing. I've been trying privately. I've done counseling, I've done the medication, I've done everything I can to try to heal and become a better person, but grief is an absolute monster. It is. While battling my own battles in private, this wasn't by no means about attention or anything. It was more so just to let people know, like, love will really get you killed. It will. And there's no easy way, there's no handbook to this. But when you find yourself loving somebody more than you love yourself, you gotta have boundaries. You gotta be able to, and I say this so freely, but even for myself, like, you gotta have boundaries and you gotta be able and willing to protect you and not nobody else. When somebody wrong you, it's okay to be vulnerable. You don't have to protect nobody's image. If anybody know anything about me, I live in my truth, I walk in my truth. If I said it, you can best believe me tell you I did just that. Whatever it is, because at the end of the day, I know for a fact, like, you know how you'll hear people say, like, people that commit suicide, I know they will never do nothing to hurt themselves. You never know what people are capable of or what people are going through or, you know, what people are dealing with behind closed doors. And I try to make myself available to people when they're going through stuff. Like, nobody has the answers when, you know, life gets hard. And I get it. And navigating through life without a parent, without your best friend, that hurts, you know, like, and there's no way to put it. And I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who went through worse. And I mean, like, the times where I needed my mama the most, you know, my dad in prison for 38 years. I don't have no parent. I feel like I'm grieving, you know, both my parents. And it's just me and my sisters trying to navigate through life. So thank you to anybody that give me grace when I'm not myself. Thank you to anybody who, spare me one last time when I'm just having a day where I'm emotional or where I'm mean or I can't really deal with life or I'm trying to figure life out. Those very people that protect you or that you can run to when things get hard, they're no longer here. If I failed, then I failed, and we had a small family. So this was tragic for me, and I had to wake up every day thinking like, okay, I gotta be better than I was yesterday because I don't have no fallback person. So I never been the girl, the sad girl, the sick girl. That's never been my story. People always say, oh, you so strong. They have no idea. When you have no choice, then what? So yeah, I just really want to say thank you though to those who showed up for me, those who didn't give up on me even when I became a whole nother person. And I did overnight, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna act like I didn't. I became a whole nother person. This changed my life. And I'm still trying to work out the kinks, still trying to figure it out. I tried to drink it away. I literally tried everything. Nothing works. But I'm gonna tell you something. You can't tell me God ain't real, like my sister said. God is real, and if it wasn't for his grace and mercy, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I gave up a long time ago. So I'm thankful for a sound mind, for the strength to get up and go, to keep going, to encourage other people, to be there for other people, because it does take a lot of strength, a lot of courage to battle silently, to deal with things silently and suppress, but that hasn't been working for me. So that's why I decided to use my platform to tell my sister's story. So on this video, if you have anything encouraging or anything positive, you want to share some light, some tips or whatever, y'all, journal, I do anything. My goal though is to get healthier habits so that I can actually start healing and stop suppressing, because it's easier said than done. And y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'll be on a straight path there in the morning. I'm like, you know what, here we go again, because you don't wake up and decide to be sad. It hits you out of nowhere, and when it hits you, it's like breathtaking. If you know anything about grief, some days are better than others, but some days you wake up and you don't know how to navigate nothing. You don't know how to do anything but just lay there. Sometimes you have to lay in it. And I'm not one of those people. I really feel like vulnerability help heal. So if you one of those who stay closed in, then you deal with it. I ain't the strongest soldier no more. I'm telling you, God broke me down in ways to get my attention, y'all, that nobody could ever do. Because like I said, right after my mom passed, I ended up getting COVID, getting sick, and then I turned around and was the first person in my entire family to be diagnosed with breast cancer. I had to go through chemo, radiation, all that. Like, I've been through a lot in a short period of time, a lot that will make anybody feel like they're gonna lose it. But what do you do when you're the strong person for everybody? You have to find ways to navigate it. And then picking up unhealthy habits, that don't make you feel better. Temporarily, yeah, but then what? I lash out. Especially with the alcohol, like I was lashing out. It was just a lot of things I was doing that wasn't healthy, and I'm still learning, still doing, and I'm trying. So yeah, if you have any healthy tips that you use for your grief, please feel free to let me know, because I'm willing to try at this point. No more suppressing. I'm not going into another year carrying this burden on my back, trying to figure out how not to be sad or how to, and don't get me wrong, the support system that I do have, the strong friends that I do have that are still around, they allow me to feel whatever it is I need to feel in that moment. They allow me to shut down and not make me feel guilty for shutting down or not showing up for them, and I'm grateful for that. So I do have healthy people around me, but I need to learn how to be healthy around other people, because sometimes it ain't them, it's me that's the problem, because I don't know how to control what I feel. So again, if you know healthy ways or you got any tips for me, please feel free to comment, message me. But yeah, and I hope that y'all stay on this journey with me as far as healing, because I promise you, I made a promise to myself and a few other people, y'all, I'ma heal, and I'm for real this time, and I'm gonna do just that. So, but yeah, that's my TED Talk for the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are in a abusive situation, especially if a person is willing to pull out a gun in a most heated situation that could be prevented by two adults just simply walking away until they both cool down, like, y'all, get out of these situations. You will lose your life. I understand the fact that she loved this man, but at the end of the day, he did not love her, especially knowing she had been shot and needed as much help as possible, and he was nowhere to be found in her time of need. Like, she should not have stayed. She should have not went back to his mother house. She should have definitely went to a family member house on her side, because this man did not give two simple F's, y'all, at all. Because if he did, it wouldn't have took him that long to show up to that hospital. Unfortunately, the mother did died from grief. She was too overwhelmed. Even though she was already sick, it was making her even more sicker, especially with her not even getting the answers she need for her daughter. Y'all, I'm just gonna pray for this family, the ones that are left, and unfortunately others lost their lives back to back. But y'all, that's why I do these stories, because I feel like a lot of them will help someone else. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, hype me up, send me out into the algorithm so other people can subscribe to me. And you guys, if you are returning, I really appreciate you guys. Hype me up, like and share this video. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.